I appreciate you coming back. So how have you been doing? How have you been doing? I'm glad you are back here. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of this family. Thank everybody for your subscription. Thanks for being part of us again for another episode. This is a continuation, okay, from last week. This is going to be other targeted parents perspectives 102. This is 102. The last week one was 101, okay? We're going to focus today on Gina. So Gina said, "This has happened to me as well when my girls became teenagers and basically able to physically care for themselves. My ex pounced on them to convince them to live with him to avoid child support. It's always the issue. This was not sudden. For years, he had been feeding them false information about me, validating their behaviors and blaming everyone else for their troubles instead of taking ownership." That is so true. They are never wrong. That is malignant parental alienators. They are never wrong, and they teach the children to copy and take these traits. Thank goodness. Oh, my son right now, if we were like 100% last year around this time of him not taking responsibility and ownership for his mistakes and stuff and always blaming people, I can tell you today we are at 90%. I remember last year we went to do grocery shopping and this boy would not lift anything, and went and pick up a noodle box, and I said, "I'm not paying for it." And he was bold enough to ask me, "Why not?" Why not? Because I'm not paying for it. If you have money, you pay for it. So provided somebody is paying for it, you have to request it. And even when you request it, it's not a guarantee that you're going to be given. So these are behaviors that you have to, the child needs reorientation. A child that has suffered parental alienation syndrome needs reorientation, and it takes dedicated parents and consistency and therapy. If you are not like me with my kind of background and the kind of parent that I am, so firm and strict and love, small discipline, small love, small structure kind of thing, it can be stressful. It is stressful. It is challenging to restructure. A damage too, you are restructuring. It is challenging, It is challenging. It's not fun. It's not easy. They now have the mindset of constant victimhood. Always want to be victims. That is what malicious narcissist parental alienators and malignant narcissistic malicious parental alienators, obsessed parental alienators, malignant narcissistic parental alienators. That is their characteristics. So they teach the kids that they have groomed, manipulated, psychologically groomed to be against you, to have the same traits, to develop the same traits. It is a piece of work to have that come together and be able to have a resolution, to be able to change that child. You understand? I'm glad that things are working better. We are not 100%, but like I said, if we were 100% last year, by now, we are now 90%. That is, I'm very pleased. I am more than pleased with the outcome. I can tell you that. Probably they don't know I appreciate the change more, but I do. Okay. They feel entitlement and do little to help themselves because they don't learn from their mistakes, because they don't see them as mistakes. That is so true. I'm dealing with this right now. I think I'm dealing with this right now to an extent. Like, they don't see they don't want to accept that is their fault. They don't want to see the result of their actions. So accepting responsibility is nothing they want to do. And that is a trait of narcissistic parental alienators. So when they groom the child of this, eventually it comes natural with them. It comes natural with them. So this is something we all have to work on together. So I'm telling you, it's not fun. You have to listen to this and help your children. Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay? You know, remember I saw an article. I was talking about, I will look for that article. It's talk about how children that suffered parental alienation, how they become like self-efficiency. It's parental alienation, narcissism. You see what Gina is saying of her teenage children when the father showed up. And listen, self-efficacy is what I'm fighting for. That is why I've been fighting for my kids all this. So I want them to be efficient and effectively manage their own life, stress-free, when, God forbid, they are adults and I'm not there. And that is why I have not given up the fight of custody or just walk away from this parental alienation whole thing. I have dealt with, I have endured, I have persevered. You understand? Self-efficacy. I found an article, a research says that these children suffer from being able to effectively take care of their needs, themselves, self-satisfaction, self-achievements, like all those things that a regular child that had a supportive, nurturing, supportive environment can benefit from. They don't. So the good thing is, in my case, I have identified it now and I'm resolving. I use reality. I mean, I have to be realistic because I can't come and be playing games with you and then you think that, oh, I'm holding you hostage, make you believe that you can't go to your father. No, you can go to your father. Coming here is because you decided to be here. You want a better life. So you're going to behave well. If not, you are free to do what you want to do, but it's not going to be here. You understand? So the good thing with my situation and why this awareness is important is so you can identify, realize the situation, and then start solving it. The sooner, the better. Okay? So Gina said, that it's sickening to me that their lives have been ruined by their father. I feel her pain. Listen, if my son was to be with his father by now, where he was going, the things that was happening to him last year before he finally decided he don't want to go back to his father, I was scared for his life. I was so scared for his life. You have no idea. I was so scared for his life. So I feel her pain. And that is what I didn't want to deal with. Having to deal with the fact that, I finished raising a child. I finished having children. I finished attaining all my degrees. I finished attaining all my successes. But I have nothing to show for. If I should say this is my child, I cannot even be proud enough to say this is my child. This is, you see what I'm saying? So that was why I kept fighting. I kept going back to get custody modified. Because their life wasn't being plotted or planned, being on a good note. It wasn't. You see, so I feel Gina's pain. Oh my God. And that was more terrifying than anything. And that was what kept me going back and forth and fighting for custody. She went on to say that one of the two people children entrust their lives with to guide them to become good people and have successful, productive lives. She's referring to the father who ruined them. He's one of two people that's supposed to, As a mother, I feel powerless. It's like watching your children being led down a road of pitfalls. Remember, I was talking about that, like perpetrating, wanting people to think your child is mentally retarded, wanting people to believe your child is autistic, and want to prove, go every mile to prove that the mother is mentally challenged. So you want to prove that the child is mental, it has inherited some of these mental illnesses, and you want to flush your child's ability down the drain. Can you believe it? So you see, this is coming from another parent too. It's not from me. So you know, those people who will be judgmental and stuff, you know this is real, guys. As a mother, having to watch this, I feel powerless. It's like watching your children being led down a road of pitfalls, dangerous curves, and poisonous animals, and ultimately off the side of the cliff without being able to do anything to stop it. That's exactly where I was. That's exactly where I have been. And I'm still there because I still don't have legal custody. There's so much I want to invest in the kids, education-wise, molding them and everything. But I still feel like I don't have that full potential. So I feel Ginas' pain. Oh, I feel this bleeding heart right here. Okay? It has crushed me by physically and emotionally tearing me apart. You want to talk of that, right? Okay. I will never be the same again. Oh my God. I wish Gina I will know her and talk to her in person. Wow. And this sounds to me like her kids have totally lost, gone, you know. And this sounds like these kids, trust me, coming from a mental health perspective, these are the kind of kids you see in therapy. They are on drugs. They are not taking responsibility for their actions. They are on benefits. They are on the street. They are in and out of jail. These don't sound good. And I think that the kids are so damaged that restoring is a problem. And now she is feeling all the pain. There is nothing like living this life and having a child, and a child you can boast of that this is my child, a child that can make you proud. It's very, very stressful. You understand? Because I know how parental alienation has affected my kids. The behavior issues have to constantly, it's like you are constantly monitoring them. You are constantly being supportive. You are constantly. And if they gave the kids away at that crucial period, I don't know. And the problem is the alienating parents are not in for the good of the kids. So at the end of the day, distraction. This is all the outcome is. I said last year I saw this thing. I can feel Gina in myself. I can feel Gina just observing my son, watching him. It was stressful. Barely hanging on to my sanity and trying not to jump off the side of the cliff myself. Whew! Gina's story is serious. Gina's story is sad. Gina's story is something to think about. I would like to leave this here, and I'll continue with another 103. This is very sad. This is very, very sad, guys. This is very sad. Yep. You know, I think I'm doing this to help somebody, but sometimes I get inspired myself through my research and my discoveries. You know, it is very, very, I don't wish this for any mother. I don't wish this for anybody. I don't wish this ever for any parent or any child, because every parent wants to see their children do well. Every parent wants to see their children do well, okay? This is sad, and I pray that Gina gets help. I pray that Gina recovers to some extent. It's going to be hard. She can recover, especially if they can restore the kids' life to sanity, where they have normal life, they can engage, they can have a sane life. As a parent that cares and wants the best for their kids, this is going to be stressful and tormenting, and I can understand her plight. So thanks for this episode. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly subscribe to Apple Worldwide, and I will see you in the next video. Okay.